Hello guys, this is the first time I'm doing something different rather than doing Geometry Dash content. In this video, I'll be instead be doing an analysis video on a tiebreaker round against G2 and Suning Gaming. But once again, this video is just my opinion, and if you think anything is wrong, please tell me down in the comments below because I am genuinely curious to see if other people have different opinions about what could have gone differently in this game if the blast cone bug wasn't apparent. So let's begin. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to watch the full 15-second clip of when G2 secures the Infernal Soul against Suning Gaming.
No, it's gone. It's gone. That's it. That's Dragon Soul. Oh, but as they back out, they're not put together. You got Gangplank on the flank. Gangplank, one big shot, Ben! Can you do it? Huge! My God!
First, let's analyze this Ashe ult that was shot from Huanfeng from I think around here. And it was not a max range, but this range of the ult was the max stun duration that an Ashe ult can become. And keep in mind that this arrow was shot from no vision and no vision of this area, and he's able to 100% hit Jankos on the money. Even if this arrow was pure luck, this is still a very significant event that happened during this game. Jankos in his current game state at 43 minutes was probably the most fed person on G2 in terms of damage and reliability. If you saw what Jankos was doing in previous to 43 minutes, he was probably the main reason why G2 was even able to survive to the point where Suning took Baron and G2 secured Infernal Soul, and Suning had to make a desperate play against G2, or G2 most likely would have won this game. So Jankos being caught here is not good. First of all, he's caught against a wall here, and what does Graves love to do? Q against walls. And Graves right now he's coming through the skirmish and into the jungle, and he will eventually be able to kill Jankos here because of the fact that first of all he was stunned, and second he's against this wall, which allows his Q to come back even faster. And Jankos doesn't have any defensive items besides Zhonya's and Leandri's, but that's really not going to do anything against the Graves that's building full crit lethality. So Jankos dying here, not good for G2, but it's amazing for Suning Gaming. And let's see what happens next. Okay, I think this is going to be like my third cut, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to link this together, but this time let's focus on the TP from Ben. This TP about him. But before I talk into this, holy shit, Fnatic is whooping TS's ass. My pick'ems is fucked. Okay, but getting out of the way, we see this TP coming from Ben. Now, this TP was also really, really good. So keep in mind that there's no vision of around this area. Because once this TP finishes and Ben starts running towards this area, this minion will die, no longer get vision of this area. And because these minions are already hard pushing into this wave, these minions can't walk up because these minions will instantly walk up after this cash minion has died. So after Ben TP's here, he's going to be able to walk through here with no vision of Ben, and he'll be able to walk into this choke point where he'll be able to catch out caps and perks walking here. And in this next segment, I'll talk about how this blast cone could have affected and what I think some factors could have been. Okay, so for this next part, we're going to analyze the movement of G2 compared to when the blast cone wasn't here, and what their possible movement could have been if the blast cone was there in their vision. So we know that Bing is a TP off because there's no vision of this area. So Bing can walk to this choke point here. And we're gonna watch the video to see the movement first.
Back out. As they back out, they're not put.
So we see that G2 paths towards this side of the wall because there is no blast cone. I'll talk about this blast cone being here a bit later. So G2 walks this way, right? And Ben later gets a barrel around right here. And this barrel is already at 3. Ben's at level 18. So the ticks of barrels, I think, is around like 0.7 seconds. If Blast Cone was already here, that means they have 1.4 seconds to hit this Blast Cone and get over to this wall. Now you have to note that Bin had vision of these people. He did have vision because of the gameplay goal. So he knows where they are. If he ults here and sees the blast cone is right here, he Bin would not have barreled here. He would have barreled up here. Now, because the blast cone's here, and when Caps and Perks go over this wall from the blast cone, the barrel will already be here, and he'll be able to chain easily. And you can see in the video how much damage they both take from a barrel.
Together, you got game plank on the flank, game plank.
It's a lot of damage. So giving G2 the benefit of the doubt and saying they're here when they're hit by a barrel, first thing you have to take into account is the barrel's movement speed slow. It's around 50% movement speed slow, which is really, really huge for Gangplank. He also gets a movement speed buff on top of his Triforce. Now, Caps and Perks both don't have any summoner spells. And Bin has Flash. And we see in this video that Caps is able to get a stun off on Bin, but Bin instantly oranges it and then Flash barrels and kills both Caps and Perks. This same concept would have been applied if they hit Blast to this area. Instead of putting a barrel here, Bin would have put another barrel here. Caps would have QE'd, ulted Bin, and tried to walk to this side of the Blast with Perks to hit and get over to this wall where Wonder can help converge with them and help them escape. But because this barrel is here and it's an instant W from Gangplank, the same concept would apply. The Q, input buff for the Flash to get here, kill Caps, auto perks once, and they both die. Now, that's just my opinion. But now we're going to take into account what would have happened if Blastcone was already here. And instead of walking this way, G2 decides to walk this way. Or this way, because shortest path is a straight line. Yeah, okay. Let's consider this direction of movement from G2. We see that Mickey X is over here. He's in this bush all the way down here, right? And he was recalling, but he sees that Sweden Gaming is starting a team fight, so he's like, oh shit, I have to stay for this team fight. Something important to note is that Mickey X has Flash. He has Flash and Ult. And the concept would still be applied that this barrel chain would have hit still. It still would have hit. And now we have to take into account that Angel sees the blast cone being hit. At around here, he will have vision of both Caps and Perks. Angel has Flash and Ult. He's also a Collie who has a Shroud, a really broken Shroud. So they will both, Caps and Perks will both be at this health. That won't change, right? Bin sees the blast cone being hit over this wall. G2 doesn't have vision of this entire area. This is all dark for G2. On top of the slow and the movement speed buff that Gangplank gets, he'll be able to travel this distance, I would say in around like a second or even less than a second. By the time he's here, G2 or Caps and Perks will probably only be around here. This is definitely within flash distance. That is within flash distance. So because this is in flash distance, Gangplank would have been able to get an auto Q on at least one person, presumably Caps, because Caps is the main threat because of his stun. He probably would have killed Caps, and then Mickey X would have been able to catch up and ult Gangplank over to this wall and then flash immediately over. But now we consider Set's ult cast time, which I consider to be one of the longest in the game. And as you know, Set ult it's not an instant teamfight ult. It takes some time for him to grab somebody, go up, and then slam down onto an area, right? That time frame of which Set ult is being carried onto Gangplank and over this wall, Angel will be able to ult, flash to Perks, Shroud, Q, go back to Shroud, auto Q ult, and kill Perks. And because we have Huanfeng and Sword Art already collapsing on Wonder and Jankos is going to be dead in around 2 seconds, G2 presumably still would have lost the fight, even with Blast Cone, considering both directions of which G2 could have hit the Blast Cone. I think that about wraps up this video. I tried making it shorter, but I mean, the last analysis was like 6 minutes, and I tried cutting out some portions, of which I messed up, but this is the shortest I could have made the video. I mean, it's not monetized anyway, so I'm sorry this video was that long. Um, I'm sorry if I stuttered or cluttered or talked too fast during the video, because I have a stutter and clutter problem. I tend to talk too fast or jumble up my words to make certain phrases unclear. So, sorry about that, but this is just my analysis of the Game 5 tiebreaker round. Once again, this is just my opinion, so if any of you guys think differently of my opinion, please tell me in the comments below, because I want to see other different opinions of the Blast Cone play. And I think that about wraps up this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later, presumably when I beat Spectrum Cyclone.